Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the TLR Collection Volume 6. Oh, I've been meaning to do this video for a very long time, but I've done so many things before this and it just pushed it back further and further. So this is episode 6 in a series where I show off all of the trains, rolling stock and landmarks I have on my railway. It is not something I've done very often, and I think the first one I did in the series was a couple of years ago. But yeah, this tends to happen after I've made a load of different changes, and I think now is a good time, if ever, to do another one. So I'm going to start up here. I've got all my trains. I've got my brand new Big Red. This is the reduced version, still massive, still gorgeous, still the face of the railway to some people. Behind is the Emerald Champion. That's still a quintuplex, that is still untouched. Over here I've got 3 powered flatbeds which I use for some action videos, and it also helps when it comes to testing new trains. When I make something like the Duchess, for example, when I go to make this and test it on the track, it's nice to have one of these to push it over points and get around curves, because when I'm doing it manually I can kind of manipulate how I want it to sit on the tracks, but when it's got something like this behind it, that will determine what it's actually going to do on the points and curves. So yeah, it's not bad. Speaking of, I have made some changes to the Duchess. This will have its own dedicated video pretty much after this one, so I expect that to come out very soon. It's still one of my favourite trains. So good. This is Sunset. This is a train that was created by Dr. Hyena, good friend of mine who talks very often. I still am meaning to change this and kind of improve upon it, because there is a lot on this train that I don't like, and I don't think I've said this in any of the videos. I don't think I even told him this either, which is probably a good thing, but this kind of looks like a McDonald's train. The yellow and the red, especially in that sort of back end on the tender, it looks really bad. I need to change that. But I do like how I've got another big engine again. It's good to have a custom designed train on my railway rather than having... Well, then again, this was formerly Stephenson's Champion, and that wasn't a real train. It was based off the Rocket, which I've got over here. But yeah, the quadruplex itself wasn't a massive real train. So that's the same thing. We also go over here. We got Rocket, still unchanged for however long I've had this. Thomas, everybody's favourite tank engine. Contraption Mark IV, that's still there, covered in dust. I haven't touched it in a very long time. But it's still a crazy wacky engine, I love that. We've got the BR23. The wheels, as you can see, are now the standard Lego wheels. These are the ones that were replaced and taken off of Big Red when it had that middle section taken out. That's pretty good. It now runs a lot smoother and it looks a lot better as well. Very pleased. Hogwarts Express, or Alton Hall I should say. That's what the actual train is called. Need to be careful when I'm standing, I can't really stand over here. We have the Fallout locomotive. One of my favourites because it's big and it's full out. We have the White Medallion Stirling Single. It's a 424. It's a beautiful little train, this. And we have Edward. Surprisingly, Edward is still alive. So, I mentioned about scrapping Edward and changing the colour of the Duchess. That never really happened, as you can tell, because it's still in red. And Edward, I may as well keep it because, you know, why not? It's another train on the railway. So, hang on, we still got more. Hang on, there we go. So, these drawers have loads of stuff in it. My Emerald Knight is here. Lovely jubbly. We've got the red diesel. My 3 Emerald Knight coaches are here. These are these stretched red coaches, which are the same size as the Metroliner coaches. They are really luxurious. They look especially good when being pulled by Duchess. Duchess of Hamilton, in case everybody wonders what that train is. It's a beautiful train. Look it up if you haven't seen it already. And of course we have my Metroliner coaches tucked underneath all here. This is the club car one where the window roof even can come open. I'm not going to try and do it here because doing it one-handed in a cramped area never ends well. The railway gun, I've been kind of tempted to take that apart and put it to something else, but I don't know what I would put that to. If you have any ideas then let me know, but for now it stays here. We have the Constitution train chase. The engine is a bit mixed up. We've got the tender underneath there somewhere, along with some other rollings. Where is the tender? It's got to be there, surely. That's just... I can't actually see it. Oh no, it's under this one, that's why. Yeah, so there we are, there's the tender. This is a little flatbed with a Great Western Brick Show 2017 brick. That's like a £5 brick as well. Rip off. However, unique brick, I like it. So yeah, that's its own little thing. I thought it was quite nice. The old, oh, this old thing. This is one of my dad's. I've been able to fix the train, the diesel even. I need to remake the rolling stock. That will make him so happy. Once I can find the parts, that is. And yes, I will do a couple of videos on that set if I can get around to that one day. This is some of the rolling stock for, that's actually the truck for the red diesel. Oh, all the pieces have fallen out, never mind. Yeah, nice little truck. That's the smaller railway gun there. And let's go into the one above. Oh, focus. Here we are. This is all the freight. And a couple of individual coaches. So a lot of the Christmas stuff is in here. We got the 2006 one. This is the custom one. The night bus coach is there. We got the other 2 layers over here. And again, it's just a mix and match of literally anything. Over the back, you can see the My Own Train stuff. We got the 4 same design flatbed. Oh no, not flat. What are they called? Gondolas. That's it. We got the rail crane, which is quite cool. And the lorry that sits in is just tucked away over there. And again, like I said a moment ago, individual coaches are just kept towards the front, so that way I've got all the freight separate. That's the winter coaches, the My Own Train one. This is the Hogwarts train one. And one of my favourite ones still. I'll try and lift this up carefully. There we are, we got this one. So that's one of the vintage train sets that came with 2 coaches. I've been able to put them together and make this. Oh, it's so good. I love that coach. Right, let's get that back over there. Hopefully it all fits. Very good. Oh, I've got to shuffle over to this side. And this one is all my track. I need to move this thing out of the way because the building's too tall. Here we are. Loads and loads of track. Loads of curves in here in particular. I've still got some straight tracks with the pins in the middle. That's just as a way to keep them all together. I haven't needed to take them off yet. A lot of the straight track pieces you may have seen are up here. I've got my trains on them. Rather than have them not straight, you know, wiggle around a little bit, I've actually got the track to good use there. Well, I say good use. Yeah, it is good use because, you know, it's been used. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Hang on, there we are. Sorry, the cab on Big Red wasn't stuck down properly. Before I do anything, is there anything? Yes, there is. Okay. So this was a scrapyard. This did hold dead models, and it kind of still does. You see remnants of the Blue Guardian, got some old wheels from Midnight Panther. We got the water tower, which I've modified slightly from the Constitution train chase. We have the coal doohickey from the... I don't know what the actual... It's just a red cargo train set. Tell you what, look, it's up there. It doesn't actually say the name of the set. I don't think they ever did on the boxes. Actually, they did. Look. Okay, hang on. Here we go. So, by the way, that's a little extra thing I've been doing. You've probably seen this in the background of some of the videos. Instead of getting rid of the boxes, I've just pinned them to the wall. Anyway, so you can see there, Hogwarts Express, Constitution, Emperor of Night. Pardon me. And yeah, it says the name of the product on the boxes, but where is it on here? I can't actually see it. That is stupid. I don't want to call it a red diesel train set, because there was another one based on the 2010 design. Well, I've got the video on the channel that has the review, well, the review videos on the channel, there we go, that's what I want to say. So if you want to know what it is, just look up the video. Anyway, back to this. Speaking of dead trains, here's some of the parts from Stephenson's Champion. And the back tender as well. Poor thing. In here, something that isn't dead, my Horizon Express. All 7 coaches are in there. I have the other 2 coach bases. Actually, I may as well show you, they're over here. So I've got the other 2 coach bases on the top, and that one there. I don't have the orange pieces to really build up another coach. I probably could, actually. That's a video for the future. I'll tell you what, whilst I'm over here, I've got the bridge pieces for that future project, once again in the works. Well, not really in the works, but it will happen one day. Just not today. That's them. So yeah, that's everything I got in the drawers. That's where I keep all of my kind of extra stuff. The precious trains go up here, everything else has to be tucked away. If I could have it all on display, that'd be so good, but sadly, no way am I going to get all the space for that. So now we go into structures and landmarks. So that was all the track, the trains and the rolling stock, kind of all in there, and on the top, that's all closed, okay? The top 4 are closed. They actually put to good use, those ones. But these are the more... I think a lot of people are probably looking forward to seeing this bit. Why is there a bit of track sticking off? What's going on? Oh, I did that when I had to move the station. Not the station, what's it called again? My brain is so rubbish. What's it called? Signal box, that's the word I'm looking for. I had to move these and I knocked that piece of track over. Right, back to this. So, grand big old station. This had its own special little series, go over all of the changes and the kind of work in progress to making this. It was really fun to put this together because look at it, it's absolutely amazing. The platforms do come apart to allow it to be moved around from room to room. So you can see where this little kind of gap appears along there. That's where you can take it apart, and it's connected by Technic pins. So that's good. And there's another, well, I can show you on this side actually. See where that massive gap is? Yeah, that's the Technic pins coming apart there. It's a bit, well, I wouldn't say it's a bit difficult. It's very difficult to try and move this around all in one. And if you want to try and see me do that, I think it's in the series. So open up a new tab, look up the series. Great fun. This is the lorry that had those. And I wanted to try something, so I took the bridge off. Bridge, there's the word. So yeah, I took the bridge off and replaced the flatbed with train tracks. I was successful, as you can tell. I've got some wheels in the centre to avoid it from dipping down. And I've put trains like the Emerald Knight on there to test the weight. I've put the Duchess on there to kind of, again, test length as well. It all works very well and it looks very good. I'm very proud of this. Not something I would expect on my railway, but I'm glad to have it because it's different. If we go over to this side now, let me get that bridge piece out of the way. Back over where it was. There we are. So, we have 2 signal boxes. Now, I made this smaller one kind of in a haste. I thought, oh yeah, I can make a signal box. But I had an idea to make this one. So I thought, oh, I may as well go through this and I might use the parts for the bigger one. But amazingly, it's still here. Sadly, the interior has been taken out and has been put into this one, which looks, again, so much better. But it's nice to keep another one on the railway, you know? If I ever make like a little story series, this can be like the old abandoned signal box. It's haunted by a guy that got run over by a train for being stupid. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, it's its own tiny little thing. It's on an actual Lego base. This one's knockoff Lego. This one's got a nice, well, you can tell this one's Lego because it's the same length as the track, which is pretty good. I like how I could do that. I think it was probably the best sort of build for something like this. There we are. I also like this little thing. This is a 1x6 tile with wooden details. This was from a really old Harry Potter set. It was Harry escaping his bedroom at the beginning of Chamber of Secrets, I want to say. I think it was that one. Yeah, let's go with that one. And yeah, these had some wooden details like crossed across the windows. It was really good. It was a really good set as well. Sadly, we destroyed it because that's what happens when you let a kid near a Lego set. Tell you what, let me keep that one out of the way because I want to show this one off in greater detail. So yeah, this is the double track, larger and much improved signal box. May as well take the roof off again. There is no studs or anything that kind of sets it in stone. So if I were to put this on, it can move backwards and forwards a little bit. But where it sits is not really a problem. Inside it has all the details again, as I mentioned. It's got a map, got some levers for the tracks. Now that should be linking up to things like points, you know, and some covers to go across the tracks to allow the traffic to go over. Christ, that is definitely what happens when you stop recording for a week. But I was able to link it up to these traffic lights. So these are lights you can get from one of the passenger sets. I think it's the 2010 one. The red one with the brick-built fronts. So yeah, that was a pretty cool set. So yeah, you can get these along with the tiny platform, and that's pretty good. So I thought I'd put it to use and just put it next to the tracks. Pretty good. So you're probably wondering about these 1x2 tiles. I think they're called grate pieces, like a grill piece, something like that. But they have 3 lines going across them, and these kind of act as wires that connect to the levers. This is a detail that many train builders have thought of before me, so it's not an original idea. But it is very clever though. When you were to attach this to points, it would look like the points were actually attached to these levers. Some people have gone above and beyond to actually create a working mechanism, but that's way beyond my build level. So yeah, there's that. There is one more thing I need to show you, and it does, I suppose it comes under landmarks. That way, yeah, just leave it there. Let's get the one over there. Now, if I crawl over to where my PC is, right underneath, we've got a barely lit area. Christ, the lights are not working. But under there is the station for the Hogwarts Express and the 2017 winter holiday station as well. I've also got the bus down there. I really like that bus. It's a very cool looking bus. But yeah, I can't really get the lighting to improve, and if you can't see, you just have to take my word. But it's all there, it's all still built up, which I am quite surprised at. I've wanted stations for my railway, but the only one that I kind of really wanted was like that massive grand one over here. And I was expecting to take the other 2 apart to use those bricks towards this. But they survived, quite miraculously. Right, there we go. That is the TLR Collection Volume 6. I'm going to have to do a bit of editing on this video because there's a lot of times where I stutter. It doesn't help when you record videos, like I used to record loads of videos in advance, and I still do. But it got to a point where I would do like 5 in a day, 10 in a day, and then I won't record anything for a week. And when it comes to re-recording these videos, it becomes a bit of a struggle, like, oh, how do I introduce this? What's the word for this again? And yeah, it doesn't help when your brain doesn't work either. So yeah, that is everything. It is so much fun to build all this, and because people have taken inspiration from my models, they encourage me to keep building, and it's amazing to be able to do this as a hobby, as something that people can look to for inspiration. It's just wonderful. It is one of the best hobbies anyone could ever have. Like trains and Lego put together, like, you're not beating that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.